You're listening to another episode of Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. This is the place where you're entitled to Brad's opinion. And now for your host, Brad Allard.
Well, how are y'all doing out there, my vast listening audience? You'll see that I'm not in my usual attire. I am in my Walk for Life t-shirt. Miss Megan brought it to me. Did you make these yourself?
I designed
You
the
designed
front,
them. Well, okay, there you go.
but Student Discipleship Ministries made those for us.
Really?
Yes, they did.
How nice.
They're so kind.
All right. And also have another guest here, Richard
Yes.
Oldham. You're the nursing coordinator. Is that your title?
The nurse manager.
Nurse manager, okay. And you're going to talk about some of these medical issues dealing with the heartbeat bill. Mm-hmm. And I just learned something right prior to the show. Most of us know about an abortion pill. Did not know there was an abortion reversal pill.
Correct.
So you'll be telling us about that as well. And we'll talk about the Walk for Life primarily too, because of used to be until COVID, that was your main fundraiser, wasn't it?
Yeah, that and the gala were our two main fundraisers. And it still is very important to the funding of all the things we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so now you're bringing it back, and I hope it's going to be successful. I hope, because I knew prior to COVID it was successful. It's a big fundraiser, and now you have to kind of get back into the system here, so to speak, or get back in habit, or whatever you want to call it. But before we jump into all of that, let's talk about the sponsors. Also, I'll have a little programming note, if you will. Thank you, Daniel. CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire. I hope you're doing well. Check out the website, crossfitburleson.com. You can see the training programs, the membership plans, things of that nature. It's been around for quite some time now, and it's quite the workout too. They have all these different regimens, and it doesn't mean you have to be in there and be already fit. It gets you fit, and that's why I call it CrossFit. See, you like that?
It's good. It's good.
All right. Okay. And also thank you to Shandy Stogsdill at the Stogsdill Realty Group. That it's time to buy a house. We're going to do it in Burleson because it's not only the house is getting expensive if they're not already, but also the rate's going to be going up pretty soon if they haven't already. So you need to talk to Shandy in a hurry if you're looking to move in and around this area. And she's been doing it for quite some time. She'll be a guest probably. She's scheduled for one probably in about a month or so. She comes on about once a quarter to talk about Burleson real estate. And she's always very well prepared, so it's a good show to listen to. Also, thank you to Rex Russell at the Russell Wealth Group. MyFinancialBox.com. Hit the link, see his introductory video, get to know him. He's quite the character. We went to college together, but he studied. I played golf, and and that's why he's the financial advisor and whatnot. But he's been around for quite some time. So MyFinancialBox.com. Hit the link and get to know him. Also, thank you to there you go, Southern Gym. Southern Gym is. I'm sorry, I get a little choked up when I talk about Southern Gym. No, Southern Gym is the jewelry store on the top of the Windmill Building. Y'all ladies been up there?
Not yet.
You need to take
It's on the list. We need to go.
Yeah, it's ring for spring. It's Mother's Day. That's her big push this go around, and everybody should take care of their mothers or their spouses and whatnot. And she's got the jewelry. She's got the inventory. She's got repairs or designs, cleanings, whatever you want up there. It's really very nice. And she plans to be moving in the same building, but expanding her space pretty soon. So she's really doing well. I tell her it pays to advertise. All right. Thank you, Gayla. And also thank you to Hotworks, Michelle Humphrey. She just opened one in Las Colinas, but this is one over here in Burleson. Y'all ever done any of these Hotworks workouts?
I have not done Hotworks, but I have a lot of friends who do it, and they love it.
Yeah. I've had a lot of people in the networking group that I'm in, and she's also in, Michelle's in, and they just swear by it. They think it's really wonderful. So, it's over by on 714 over by the Kroger's and the theater. You know where it's at. So hang on, I've got to share this with my friends so they'll see this. Okay. Also, Taylor, you put up that phone number or that text number. Also, I've talked about this a little before. I'll be talking about it in the next couple of shows. I've engaged a company called Thrive. One of my friends at the BNI networking group, a very knowledgeable person named Dee Dee Simpson, has helped me with setting up with a new platform as such. I mean, I have still the old platforms, but this will get me to some other platforms as well. So if you would text to the number 85100, text Mr. Allard in all caps, no spaces, no period or anything, just Mr. Allard, one word. Text that to 85100 and you'll get updates, who's on the show next, what's going on. I promise not to bug you 3 or 4 times a day. All right, because people get annoyed with that, but I just on shows or whatnot and let you know what's going on. So 85100, text Mr. Allard, and you'll be dialed in, so to speak. Okay, which would you like to talk about first?
Let's talk about the heartbeat bill and abortion pill and all of those things first.
Well, on that related topic, I saw 2 days ago the Oklahoma governor signed a bill banning most forms of abortion, and a lot of that was kind of instigated because of Texans going north for this procedure. Now, will it stand up in court? I don't know. Every time there's any kind of a abortion restriction, even at the most minor kind, you're going to have litigation against it. So we'll see what happens with that. But we've had this bill in place now for about 6 months, roughly.
Yeah.
How has it affected y'all in your next step?
Well, I think medically speaking, we have been seeing a lot of our women come in much, much earlier. They can find out that they're pregnant very early now, and so they come to us much earlier, and there is more of an urgency to make that type of a decision right now because of the heartbeat bill. So we are excited and happy to have them to come into our center, because when they come to our center, it gives us the opportunity to have a conversation with them. It gives us the opportunity to kind of see where they're at and to kind of assess their needs and to really walk with them through that. So we do offer them an ultrasound because it's real important for these women to understand what an early pregnancy looks like. And so when we do these early scans, we can let them know if this is a viable pregnancy yet, because we wouldn't want them to go and have an abortion done if they don't have a viable pregnancy. So it gives us the opportunity to kind of speak into their lives through the ultrasound.
Now, we talked about this last time you were here, which was about 3 months ago, roughly?
Yeah.
The impression that the community should have is not one that if you discover a heartbeat and these young ladies choose not to keep the baby, that y'all are going to be involved in notifying whoever needs to be notified, that this is a confidential thing.
Yes.
Okay, because a lot of people would think, well, if y'all discover that there's a heartbeat there, and these young ladies are bound and determined to do an alternative for whatever that alternative is, you're not going to be involved in notifying whomever, and they need to come to y'all with that confidence.
And the only time that we share any information is when their doctor, a doctor has, how is that process for them to request medical information? Because we will share it with their doctor if we're given permission, but we've had agencies call us who we don't know them, we have nothing signed by them, but we're not giving anybody any, not like we've had another clinic call, but we didn't have things signed in place for us to pass on that information. And unless we have, how does it work, Bridget? There's like strict permissions.
Right. We hold our clients' confidentiality is very important. If they have established care with an OB doctor and we have them give us an authorization to release their medical records to their doctor only. So they sign that, and then at their doctor's office, they also have to sign that release of information, and then that transaction can take place by fax.
Well, I just wanted to stress to the audience that any young lady that's coming to y'all is going to be treated with the greatest deal of confidentiality and discretion, and they don't need to worry about any kind of legal ramifications.
Absolutely. We're not sharing their information with anybody. You have to work real hard.
Well, and that's good. And so, now that being said, okay, you're the nursing manager, and so what exactly does that title do? What exactly do you do for Next Step?
Well, we do have a medical director that we work with, Dr. Neef, and so I work under him, and he sets the policies and procedures for our center. And so when a woman comes in, we do a pregnancy test, and so the nursing staff, we can go in and meet each client and give them the result of their pregnancy test, and then we walk them through maybe their insurance needs. What does that look like for them? And so if they're going to be set up for Medicaid, then we have a report of pregnancy, and it is a state of Texas form that we fill out for them that they can send off to Medicaid to get that done. We can offer our women prenatal vitamins, and we have them free and available to all of our women at our clinic. And then we assess them and set them up for their ultrasound.
And I'm looking at your pamphlet here. I already knew this, but also would stress to the listening audience that these aren't just volunteers doing these sonograms. These are licensed, registered medical professionals. This is a medical professional procedure. It's not, just counseling and holding hands or whatever. It's also, you're going to get a full medical. I mean, I know you may not have full clinical capabilities yet, but I think, isn't that your goal one day?
That is our goal.
Right. But
We're pursuing funding to build a bigger clinic where we can have an on-staff nurse practitioner, and we can offer more services like STD testing and well women exams and prenatal care before they get in to see their official doctor.
Right. But I just want to stress that this is not, this is not an amateur production by any means. It's very professionally done. And I don't know how other clinics handle their business. I just know this one, I've been associated with it as a citizen and, on podcast or whatever. I've always been very, very impressed with how professional everything was handled and how much concern was shown to the clients. There was nothing about pressuring them to do any kind of decision. Now, it is obviously you want them to keep the baby, right?
Yeah, but we're pro-life.
Yes, it's a pro-life organization.
Life affirming and all
right,
that.
and yes, and I think what y'all do is you give them, these young women, an idea that this is something that they can do, and this is something that they'll have support in doing. Instead, I mean, I just feel badly for these young women, and I'm looking at your stats here. Not all of them are young, I guess. I mean, you have quite a few. It looks like almost a third in their 30s and up.
Yes.
But it's still a very stressful situation.
It is, especially, I mean, some of our clients who are in their 30s and up, maybe they have 3 kids already and they're raising them by themselves. And so, and they're going, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to do this again all by myself. And we've had some of those clients be the ones who come back the most, because they know we're on their team, and we're going to sit with them and talk through, okay, how can we help you, or how can we make different choices to help you, to set you up for success, or what supplies or resources or referrals can we provide? And they leave feeling encouraged and supported, not alone in the situation.
Well, I'm just pushing back on this at least secular notion that these young ladies come in and browbeat them into keeping the child. That's far from the truth.
That is far from the truth. In fact, all of the information that we provide regarding abortion, adoption, and pregnancy is provided to us through the Texas Health and Human Services. And so when we're doing an options counseling, we're sharing the risks of all the options. We're talking through it on a very factual, approved by the state kind of situation. We're not manipulative in how we share anything, and we try to remain unbiased in all of those conversations.
Well, what also I'm thinking, these young ladies probably in their hearts and minds would like the option of keeping their child, and abortion is seen as maybe a drastic alternative, but they may feel either pressured by outside people, family members, whomever, or they feel like I don't have any other options, and they come into y'all's place and they find out they do have options.
Yeah.
And I think maybe in a lot of ways y'all are reaffirming what they would like to hear and want to know already, that they want to keep their child. They just don't know if they could, or if they feel like, no one's going to help me with this, and they come to y'all and find out it's possible and it's doable. And
absolutely.
That's kind of I would think that's probably where a lot of your conversations probably go towards.
As you're talking, there are faces in my head of conversations we've had in the last 2 weeks. We've been in the room together in the last month or so, and like, yes, that is where they're at, and we have a lot of fathers who, I think they either go in with there are the ones that are like, I'm not going to support you. You're in this, like, they're totally like, you need to go take care of this, so to speak. We also have the dads who are like, it's your body, your choice. And what we're finding with that perspective is that what they think they're saying to be empowering is actually like saying it's your problem.
Yeah, well,
Deal with
exactly. I mean, that's a cop out. What they're saying.
It's totally a cop out, and it's not helping.
Right.
It's not helping.
No, this idea. Well, I respect your femininity and your womanhood and your choice and your agency and all that.
Yes.
Because what they're really saying is, please have an abortion so I don't have to take care of this child.
Yeah.
And that's what they're saying. I think that, but I guess you do have those. Some fathers come in and said, I want to do what it takes to make this work.
Absolutely, we do.
Okay.
Absolutely, we do. We've had, I mean, and that's what we get all spectrums of relationships and people, and the dads that come in, even the ones who are like, we've had some dads who are there and they want to support her however they can, and so they're saying, whatever she wants to do, I'm going to support her. And then we have couples who are, this wasn't the plan, but this is where we're going, and they're all in, and we provide whatever we can for all of them.
Now go ahead. Sorry.
Sometimes the dads have never seen a sonogram before, especially at this really early age like that. And so we had a dad come and we got so close to the TV because he was so just astounded and awed about what he saw about just seeing life so early and such an early pregnancy, but such a sweet time. And it was just so new for that dad to be able to see that ultrasound.
And I guess also the impression a lot of people get is that almost every one of your clients are coming in and it's a tragic or a sad or a upsetting situation. Do you have clients come in and said, "Hey, I'm pregnant. How about it? I'm excited."
Oh gosh, we had the absolute sweetest client come in last week. She was somebody who really wanted to be pregnant and had been trying for years, like over 10 years, and never thought that she could get pregnant. So she was so excited to find out she was pregnant. We did that ultrasound and there were tears of joy. It was
you need those kind of days, don't you?
It
we
was
do.
such a great experience.
She said, I'm so proud of my baby already.
Yeah. Well, that's what y'all need to kind of keep y'all going, because I would
Yes.
imagine though most of the conversations are with upset mothers and or scared, whatever. And and another, you look at the data here and you think all of them are going to be like 15 to 19 or whatever. And I'm looking at this and the majority of them look like they're over age 25.
Yeah.
And is this for all of 2021? I'm holding.
This is all of 2021.
Okay. And so it looks like just almost 65% are over 25. So this idea that it's mostly young teenage high school girls is also a misnomer or a stereotype, I suppose. So they come in, and I would imagine some come in, they say, I want this child, I just don't have the financial means to get it started, or I need diapers, I need formula, whatever, to start accumulating. I want to learn how to be a mother, things like that. And you offer all those things.
Yes.
Did you realize that 59% of abortions are moms already? They have
I
had
didn't know the
one or two
percentage.
children. It is 59%. And so when they come to us, we can offer them material assistance. And then just a big plug for our education department with these moms. We can put them in prenatal classes for refreshing, but we have parenting classes as well, because just as much as we want them to fall in love with their babies, we want them to fall in love with parenting and to give them the skills that they need to be more effective parents. And we have so many classes on different topics, from toddlers to baby sleeping through the night to
Good luck with
challenges and
Technology and parenting.
Absolutely.
All the things.
Oh, I've seen this outfit, if you want, this organization grow from what it was about 20 years ago when it was very small. I mean, it was more or less in the same building, but now it's expanded quite a bit. And you said you're trying to raise money for a clinic. And I remember our former president, our good friend Jane Burton, I'm sure she's enjoying her retirement right now. I remember she and I talking about this a couple of years ago, and then COVID, put everything in hiatus. And then I guess now that hopefully we're past all that, or most of it anyway, we can get back on track with that.
That's the hope. We've done a few things to start looking at how we're going to raise funding to start making that happen. We're shopping for land. Those things are happening. We're praying that it all goes quickly and we get in the next couple of years, because we know, we know the need. We're so busy right now. And we are, like, I think Sonos last year we had 576 for the whole year. In the month of January alone, we had 100. And I think the rest of the months have been close to 80. Like, our numbers, we've got them coming in, and they're coming back for multiple appointments, and they're doing the classes and all of the things, and that just storing the supplies that we're going to give them. All the things that we're doing, we can see so much growth coming that we're already tight in our building now, and we know that growth is happening consistently.
And it seems like quite a bit of growth from last year, from the previous year.
Yes.
I'm sure did COVID kind of decline some of those numbers?
Honestly, we just did a presentation for something last week, and our 2019 numbers are, I think the total client visits that you're looking at, that's 81% from 20 to 21. I believe that was about 69% from 19 to 20.
Wow.
And so it has been going up. And even, in 2020, we were shut down for 2 weeks, but also a lot of the centers in our area were shut down for way longer. And so there was a while where we were kind of the only ones up and running.
What I like, though, is the fact that this has obviously become more and more of a consideration for women and for families as a whole than maybe it was even 5 years ago. Your numbers are showing that people are considering these kind of options as opposed to just taking the most quickest route.
Yes.
And speaking of which, okay, we were talking about this prior to the show, and I'm going to show my medical ignorance. Bridget, we're going to talk about the abortion pill and the abortion reversal pill. All right.
Right.
Now, I know about the abortion pill. Is it RU86 that we're talking about?
It is called. It's called. It has several names.
Okay, but there's different types of situations, I guess, or different types of medications. But an abortion reversal pill. See, I'm thinking once you take the first one, the second one is unnecessary. Or won't be any use.
Okay, so what we're talking about with a medication or a chemical abortion is two medications that are taken by the woman. And so currently about 54% of abortions in the United States are done by medication or a chemical abortion. And so the first pill is mifepristone, and that pill competes, and it's a progesterone blocker. And so when a woman's her natural hormones during pregnancy, the progesterone increases, because that helps to thicken the uterus, make the home for the baby. And when they take that pill, it wants to bind to those progesterone sites. So the baby is not able to thrive in that environment and survive in that environment. What this abortion pill reversal procedure is going to get the mom, if she has taken that first pill and immediately experiences some regret for that, what can she do? And doctors have found that if they can treat her with progesterone, load her back up with the progesterone to reinforce these hormones that her pregnancy needs to thrive, then we have found that there is like a 64 to 68% success rate in these women carrying their babies.
Well, what is the time elapsed between the two doses?
Yeah, that's a great question. We want it to be done as soon as possible.
Well, so if a young woman...
Within 24 hours, if we
okay.
can, up to 72 hours. But we're going to look at several things with that. We're going to see if she has started... if she has started bleeding. We're just going to look at several things and the doctor's discretion to see what kind of doses of the progesterone that they want to use. But there's a really nice protocol that's been very successful that's already set up in place for that.
So the longer the time lapse, though, the less successful possibilities. Is that what I'm gathering? Like if you waited a week or 10 days, it may be too late.
It may be, but that's where the power of the ultrasound comes in as well. We can check to see what type of viability that we're talking about with this. So that's why it's a combination. We like to get it done within 72 hours, get the progesterone started as soon as possible. That's has increased the success of it.
Are y'all able as a clinic to administer this?
This is what another program that we are working very hard to get. So what we can do now is provide the education for that. There is a hotline for it, and we can refer all of our clients and even call the hotline with them to get this started. And then there are some places in Fort Worth that are on this, but that is our goal, to get that push really soon to get us.
So the listeners should understand, though, if, let's say, a young woman is pressured by family, the father, peers, whatever you want, or whatever, like, and she takes the chemical abortion pill, and then the next day says, "No, I can't do this." You know, if they come to y'all, you can set them in the right direction, but you can't give them the treatment.
We can't give them the treatment at this time, but we can help. We can connect them with people who can.
Well, that's the hope one day with the clinic, I would imagine.
Yes, it is. And it's important to know that with the abortion pill, there's 2 pills. And so after the first pill is when there's the opportunity for reversal if they've taken both pills. Right?
If they have taken both pills, they're studying that and they're working on to see if that would be possibility. So that's still
right now we're not looking at that. I just want to make sure that if anyone knows what's happening, like, just to be clear about how everything works. And I don't think we can do the reversal isn't a plan after the second pill right now. Is that right?
That's right, but we're going to keep working to see as long as you haven't had any bleeding and.
Well, see, I would just assume once that first pill was administered, it was a done deal. But apparently there is a second chance kind of thing. Also, you can, because I could see this happening where a young girl is driven to a clinic by an angry parent or an angry father, and she takes this pill, and then the next day says, "I'm not doing this." And I'm glad to know that there's a reversal possibility. That really is, that's good news. And but I never heard of it before. And I hope maybe people listening to this will also make that aware, because I bet somebody listening to this knows somebody or knows somebody who's in this similar situation. And I'm looking at your numbers. 81% increase from the previous year in terms of client visits. Almost everything you've done is up substantially. 134,000 diapers distributed. Where do you get those diapers? I mean, that's a lot.
Well, I will say that City Market is amazing in working with us and helping us get those diapers at a good cost. And he orders bulk for us, and he sets them aside, and we truck them over. City Market has been fabulous with helping us obtain the diapers, but also we have churches and small groups and all of those kind of wonderful heroes, we call them, who drop off diapers all the time.
Yeah, and after the next round of commercials, I want to talk about the fundraising and Walk for Life and whatever else. And there's a note in here that I really find to be interesting. And I'm going to bring it up after that's what they call a tease in a podcast world. See, I'm learning these things. Okay. So anyway, let's take others. Our place. So it's just there today. My Sunday school class, the men, every other Thursday eat there. And it's always great, of course. And Otto is exceptionally generous. And he really is. He's always given aid and assistance to organizations and whatnot. And he's a very fine man. So thank you, Otto, for all that you do at Our Place Restaurant. Also, thank you to Chris Notaboom over at Wild Cigar and Culture. Bridget, you don't look like a cigar smoker.
No, sir.
No, well, but it's still a place you can go. It's a place anybody can go. It's got a good atmosphere. It's got a great ventilation system, so people think, oh, it's a cigar bar. Going a bunch of guys smoking and big clouds of smoke. No, it's well ventilated. I mean, it has the aroma of smoke, but not like a big cloud. So it's really nice and has a good bar and it's quiet, so you can have a conversation without having to shout across the table and that kind of stuff. And so I've been there. My son-in-law likes cigars, so I've been there a couple times with him and their humidor. So if you know anybody in your life that smokes cigars, there you are. All right, but Wild Cigar over on the Standard. Also, thank you to Antonio Basalo. He was on Saturday. I hope you all check out his show because he's a very interesting story. He was brought here as a very young child from the Philippines and found out when he was trying to join the Army that, oops, there was some documentation issues. He was here without him knowing that he was here illegally, and so he's been trying to gain his citizenship, and it's a difficult process. So it's a good story, and he's the kind of person we want in this country, absolutely, because he has his own business, Proactive Payment Solutions. It's point of sales operations. He can help you with your business operations, but also he's made a really big success of himself. And I think he graduated BHS about maybe 6 years after you did. He probably was in Garrett's class.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, about 2009.
Yeah, sounds.
Yeah, okay. And also Tiffany, yesterday you had a little unfortunate, or Tuesday had unfortunate scheduling conflict, so I'm going to have her on sometime next week probably. Local Life Magazine is out. I've seen it. It's wonderful as always. Also locallifetx.com. Check out the ads and the discounts, whatever else that are going on in this community. Okay, let's talk about the funding. That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It's a big deal. I mean, this may run on prayer and hope, but somebody got to pay the electric bill.
That's the truth.
But, people can donate any time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our website for our donor page, as we call it, is nextstepheroes.com. Mm-hmm. And I'll put that in the chat. But you can go there anytime and give a one-time donation. You can see other ways that you can be involved. And then we have our walk page, which right now it's Walk for a Lifetime. Mm-hmm. So you can give during the walk. It's right now to find that. I'll put it in the chat also. Nextstepheroes.com /walk will get you to all the information about the walk. And we've got our Walk for Life t-shirts on. We gave one to Mr. Allard over there. Mm-hmm. And so if you raise $250, you get a Walk for Life t-shirt.
Well, now, what I saw was interesting about this. I'm going to go to what I was referring to prior to it. You made this very clear. This is not a protest event. And so people that are kind of, on the fringes of understanding what's going on around here, you're not protesting abortion. You're trying to raise money to help people.
Yes.
And this is not a political event. This is not a social commentary event. It's a fundraising event for the people in this community. And so people who think that maybe critical or whatever, or pro-choice or whatever, they should understand that this is not meant for protesting Roe versus Wade. This is right. This is about y'all.
Absolutely. And as a center, we know what's happening in the law or in the courts and in the states around us. We're aware of that because it affects who we serve, but we are not political in any active kind of way. We're serving people because we love people and we want to see them succeed and empower them to live lives and be parents or heal from things that they've walked through. And so yes, now I will say this wording has been in here for years. I adapted what other people said, but it is important that we are clear. It's not a protest event. In fact, it's going to be real fun and happy. Yep. We're going to talk about some of the stuff we talked about today. We'll encourage with a little word about what we do and how some successes we've had this year. And then we'll all go walk together and have a good time. We have Red House Coffee Bean is going to have a coffee cart for us. Chick-fil-A is going to have some chicken biscuits for us. Yes.
That right there will get you out there.
Yes. And then we're just going to go for a nice walk. And we all need our exercise, so it's good anyway.
But so leave the signs at home.
Yes.
And so you're leaving from the clinic. Where are you walking to?
We kind of walk around back to the clinic. We walk from Next Step Women's Center in Burleson, which is just behind the Exxon on Wilshire and Chicken Express over there. And we walk down past Hughes towards Lifegate, and then we kind of come back. Hughes Middle is
it's like about 2 miles.
It's a 2-mile little walk that we do together, and people bring their dogs, and you can ride your bike or. If people are really strollers, of course. If people are like really gung ho and want to run, they're welcome to do that too, but they might be by themselves up ahead.
Well, so how this works is these people that are participating in this have gotten people to sponsor them so much per mile or something like that, or $10, just flat rate.
Yes.
Whatever.
We get mostly flat rates because it's just easier. No one wants to do math.
Yeah.
But you can either, if you come by the center, we have a paper sponsorship page you could stop by and pick up and ask your neighbors to give. But we also, in the link that I'm going to post in just a minute, you can click and you can do it all digitally. You can set up your fundraising page with just a few clicks and typing in your name. And I add a picture because pictures help. And then you can send it out in emails or social media and ask your friends to give.
Let's say that somebody who maybe either new to town, doesn't know anybody or whatnot, they could still just say, I don't really know if anybody I want to sponsor, but I want to contribute. They could just contribute, right?
Absolutely. You can go to that same link, and there's a button that says, I want to register to walk, and there's a button that says sponsor a walker. And you can click sponsor a walker and just pick anybody.
Okay, so the walkers will be listed there.
The walkers are listed. You'll scroll down to the bottom, and the walkers are listed, and you can just pick anybody. You can pick the number one person and just add to theirs. Or if you see someone you recognize, you can click view all, and it'll show everybody, and pick. You can pick me. I'm on there.
Is there a prize for the biggest fundraiser?
We are not doing big prizes for the biggest fundraiser this
Good.
year. We're just doing the T-shirts right now. We are, like you said, we haven't done it in a few years, and we're kind of easing back into normal. And so we are offering, like, our flyers all say virtual, or in person or virtual, which basically means you can raise funds on your own, send it in, do it. If you do it online, then everything's already going where it needs to go. And then you can walk on your own. You can walk in your neighborhood. You can walk around Bailey Lake. There's a bunch of trails around here, or wherever you happen to live. You just do a little 2 mile walk and enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah. So if you can't make it at 9 o'clock on Saturday, but you want to be sponsored, you can say it like they're busy or they work. I mean, it is Saturday's a busy day. They could just say, well, I'm going to do it Sunday afternoon.
Yes, you can do it whenever
you
want.
Like on May 1st or something like that.
Yeah, around that time is the best time to walk, because then you're kind of in the same time frame as us. But we do have a couple of people. I think Father Mel from St. Anne's, he always walks. And I believe he's going to be in Corpus Christi or somewhere else. And I think he said he's going to walk there. And I'm like, walk the beach. That sounds nice.
So people out of state can do this if they wanted to.
Yes, yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting. So if you get, maybe, people that used to live in Burleson, or maybe just they hear this show, I don't know, hopefully, and they'll say, that's something I want to do. And I'll walk a couple of miles and raise about $50 and whatever. Because I think another thing when it comes to donating to these type of organizations, people think, well, I don't have a lot of money. It's not going to make a lot of difference. I can't give them $5,000. So, I won't give them 50. Well, the widow's mites, I would remind them.
Absolutely.
And widow's mites grow into the money that y'all need. I mean,
Right.
There's a lot of donors that are not well-to-do, and they feel like, well, this is the best I can do. But that is the best they do, then there's jewels in their crown. And I think we need to emphasize that with the listeners, is that if you don't have to be, the wealthiest person in town to really make a difference. A small donation makes differences.
Absolutely. Those $10, $25, $30, $50.
Those are diapers.
Those are those are diapers. Those add up, and we appreciate every donor, no matter the size of gift, no matter the frequency. They're what makes this happen, because we couldn't keep the light on without them.
Well, so you don't get a lot of federal or state funding, do you?
We don't. We don't get
or county or anybody.
No, we don't get any consistent funding from any of those avenues. I know that there's some grants and things here and there, and we apply for them, and sometimes we get some, and sometimes we don't. But no, we don't get any.
So it really is totally based on this community.
Yes.
And do churches donate?
Yes.
Okay.
Churches make up a good portion of our funding, and I believe last year I think that churches gave about $80,000, like total, like that's the total church amount, because we've separated some of those. But yeah, churches, we have a lot of churches who consistently give monthly, and they bless us so much. We're so grateful for them.
Well, and in maybe businesses as well.
We do have some corporate sponsors.
Yes, it's that's what I think a lot of my sponsors like these kind of shows.
Yeah.
Because this is things they support.
Yes.
The community in all sorts of ways, and that's why knowing the sponsors I have, I'm very very proud of them and proud to be part of them, because
Yes.
they this is what they like to see happening in our community, is coming together and supporting these people.
Well, let me say our walk sponsors are Tris Fitzgibbon from Edward Jones, Art Brooks State Farm, who's been around forever and ever and gives to so many things, and then Sunset Hill Tree Farm, which is my mom.
Yes, of course. Yeah. She's living the life I think she's always wanted, to be out there in the
is.
outdoors in the natural setting. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
She is. She's had a bunch of field trips out there, and she's loved getting all those kids in the dirt and learning.
But if a corporation, a corporate or business sponsor wants to, they're more than welcome.
Absolutely.
And it's tax deductible, guys.
Yes, it is. We'll set you right up.
Yeah. So, okay, we're coming close to the end, I suppose. But as far as one last thing, I do this when y'all come on. I want the listeners to know, kind of from step one to final step, what would happen when a young girl comes into your organization for the first time? What is going to happen to her for the next 3, 9, 12 months, whatever long it takes? So just kind of take us through the steps.
Well, when a client first comes in, we have them fill out their paperwork, and we bring them into a counseling room where they meet with one of our client advocates, and that's when we really take a look at their situation and assess their needs. And again, I've mentioned we will set up their Medicaid. We have a staff member, because you can do that online now, and she is there and she can help
And
set
she's
up.
certified through, I forget, there's a government agency she's certified through to make sure she's doing that properly.
Right, and so we tell them what paperwork they need to bring, and that is submitted and that is done. We set them up for, after their pregnancy test, we set them up for their ultrasound. We give them goodies along the way, and then
Like those baby bucks at Rachel's Hope?
we give them baby bucks. We have a boutique in our center as well
Okay,
that
I've
they
seen
can
that.
shop at.
Yes.
I've
So
seen
they
that.
can use baby bucks at Rachel's Hope Resale or at our boutique.
And then after we see them for the ultrasound, we encourage them to get established with an OB that's going to follow them throughout their pregnancy. And then we direct them to our education department where they can take the prenatal classes and then go on and take parenting classes.
Which
and we
are
do
open-
follow-ups along the
We do
way to
follow-ups
keep
along the way.
Yeah.
And if they're interested in anything like spiritual counseling, we call that soul care coaching, soul care counseling. So if they just feel like they need someone else to walk through life with them a little bit longer, we can do that for really however long they need.
And so, yeah, I guess that's another perception we need to make clear, is that it is a faith-based organization.
It is a
It's
faith-based
a Christian organization. However, the design is for the families. It's not strictly for evangelism.
Right. In fact, they have to give us, we ask them if they would like for someone to pray with them, if they would like to have spiritual conversations. And if they say no, like their client advocate will not have any spiritual conversations with them. And if they say yes, then someone like me will come in and have a spiritual conversation with them. If they say no, that's kind of the end of it. We're not going to push and we're not going to pressure and we're not going to
Yeah.
stress.
Well, that's the way it should be. It should be somebody coming to that kind of decision on their own, as opposed to feel obligated or pressured into it. And how many of them, percentage-wise, guess-wise, choose to have a spiritual conversation?
Oh goodness, I don't know a percentage. I know, I'm trying to think of my day, because that's most of the time in our Burleson Center. There's probably only 2 soul care volunteers right now. So if you want to pray with people, call me. So a lot of times that's on me. And I think that out of 10 appointments a day, I'm probably going into half of them really
Yeah.
to pray or for a sonogram support. And sometimes in sonogram support, I'm just, they've said no to spiritual and I'm just there and we're not going to talk about Jesus. But sometimes if they've had agreed to a spiritual conversation before, it can be a very meaningful time.
And that's what I like about it, is that it's there for those who ask for it. Because we could speak for a whole nother hour, because I'm sure you see all kinds of women in the situation. It's not just a certain type of woman. It's
Yes.
from all income levels,
All demographics,
all
income.
all family situations. It's not just some wayward young lady. It could be a young lady who was born and raised and taken care of by a very tight family, and now they need help, and that kind of thing. So it's not like a certain type of person this happens to. I learned that pretty quickly when I got into the public school system, when I saw it happening all across.
Yes.
And it shamed me a little bit that, I had that kind of prejudice originally. But after a couple of years of teaching at Burleson High School in the early 90s, I thought, it's not what you think it is.
Right.
So anyway, I'm going to run through the sponsors real quick, and then at the end, y'all tell us everything we need to know about Walk for Life. It's coming in a week from Saturday.
Yep. It's coming quick.
Coming quick. Okay. Thank you, Daniel. CrossFit Burleson. I know he's a big supporter, and so I hope you and Amber, the kids, are doing well. So check out this CrossFitBurleson.com if you want to get fit, not throw a fit. Anyway, so also, I know, corny. I know, he just shakes his head. Shandy, thank you. Hope you're doing well. Also, the real estate business is hotter than ever, so hope you can, if you're moving here, you need to talk to her. Rex, over at Russell Wealth Group, he's over in Cleveland, but he'll meet you about anywhere. He'll have a little coffee and help you with your 401ks and whatnot. He's a big supporter of this type of show. I mean, I told him I was doing this, he was very excited. Also, thank you to Gayla. Same thing. I saw her yesterday, told her what was going on today. She was that's so wonderful. That's so great. Oh. She goes to First Baptist with me.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, anyway, Southern Gym, jewelry and gemstones and design, cleaning, the whole 9 yards. Had very nice inventory, so run over there. It's springtime, time for Mother's Day, and then you have, of course, graduations, and then June weddings. You got the whole thing going on. Hot Works, thank you, Michelle. I know you're pretty busy these days with the opening of your second location, but the one in Burleson here literally is on fire. She says it's hotter than average. Anyway, it has all these different workout programs. It's not just going in there and sweating. It's got rowing, it's got biking, it's got Pilates, yoga, the whole thing. Sorry. All right. Thank you to Otto, of course, our place. I'll see you next week. I got a couple of, I guess you want to call them business appointments, but it's just lunch with friends. But anyway, Our Place Restaurant, thank you for all you do and all you do for this community. And thank you to Chris. I know he'll have the ball games on this weekend, but it's nice and quiet. He didn't turn the sound up so you can hear yourself think in there. It's a really good place to go and have a smoke or a drink. Also, thank you to Antonio, Proactive Payment Solutions. Hope you have a chance to check out his show. He has a very good story. He can help you with your business needs, help you with your point of sales operations. And Tiffany, as always, the Queen of Burleson. She knows what's going on everywhere. She's got her finger on the pulse, so to speak. So locallifetx.com, check out the webpage. And also you should have your copy of the magazine. It goes to 30,000 homes. Also, one last thing. I'm going to hit this one more time. Dial or text Mr. Allard to 85100 so you can get updates. Okay, there it is. Okay, now, the important stuff here. Walk for Life, Saturday, April 30th, 9 to 11, in person or virtual. And starts out at 250 Northwest Tarrant, which is the center.
Yes.
So tell us everything we need to know.
Everything you need to know. You can become a sponsored walker to walk with us by going to the link I just put in the chat, nextstepheroes.com/walk. And there's an opportunity to give or an opportunity to become a walker. If you become a walker and raise $250, you get a really spiffy t-shirt.
Yeah, I like this one.
And then you show up at 9 o'clock on Saturday, and we'll chat for just a few minutes, and we'll walk and we'll have a great time together. If you come that day, there's an opportunity also to walk through the center, see what our rooms look like, see our baby boutique and our sonogram room and all of those things. We love to give tours, so aside from this, at any time, if you would like a tour, you just give us a call at Next Step Women's Center. You can Google us, and that's what will pop up first. But for the walk, just click and show up and join us. And we'd love to have you. This is a critical fundraiser for our center. It's one of our most important ones. And so we would love for you guys to give. We're seeing so many more clients than we have before COVID especially, but even last year. And so every penny counts, and every gift makes a huge difference.
So it's nextstepheroes.com/walk.
Yes.
Is the website, and it takes care of it's very easily done, and they take all major credit cards and whatnot.
Yes, all of those things. You can also mail. We'll take cash or check. Whatever you want to give us, you take it.
Somebody walks in with a bag of dimes and pennies and quarters.
We'll figure it out.
We'll count them for you. Okay. See, it wasn't so bad, Bridget, was it?
It was not so bad.
Yeah. Were you nervous before the show?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, okay. See, it's not so bad. It's not like,
It's not bad.
Not like one of those TV talk shows. Tell us the last time you cried, or something like that. It's not that bad.
We'd both be like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and also, happy birthday, Summer. It's
yes, our new fearless leader. Happy birthday.
I don't want to say what year it is, but she put it on herself.
She did put it on.
Yeah,
it's a new decade. We'll say that. Oh.
Yeah, it's her 50th birthday. She's gonna put it on Facebook. It's official now.
Okay. Yes.
But that's okay. She's doing great. I'm
she
sure.
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to tell us about the medical side? What y'all offered, Bridget, before we sign off, or you?
Just that it's just a life-changing event to have an ultrasound done, and we're happy to do it. We're so happy to serve our clients, and just to take a look at that little window of opportunity to share their baby, talk about the fetal development, and just to help them to fall in love with just that little baby.
It really is a mind or consciousness raising experience when you see your child in a sonogram. I remember both mine, and it's like, wow, you see God's work right there in front of you, and you find out, yes, we are truly and well and wonderfully made, as they say in Isaiah. So anyway, I appreciate y'all being here. I hope that y'all do well on this. Anything planned for the summer?
We don't have any fun. Well, after the walk, we're going to be selling some really cute T-shirts that I'm excited to show everybody.
Okay.
But no big events in the summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. But next time, you know where to find me.
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. Thank y'all. Y'all share this with friends, because I bet somebody out there is going to need to hear this show. So share it and pass it on. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having us.
No problem.